She works a 10 to 10, a 9 to 5 just ain't enough to feed and clothe the family. She works hard to make provisions for a year. She wants to go to school but doesn't have the time for it. She bringing home the bread until her husband gets his doctorates. On top of it, all the frustration and added stresses and no appreciation. She embraces every blessing. If she had it to do again, she'd do it in a second. Make sacrifice to see her kids enjoy their adolescence. Despite depression and hurt and broken promises, she praying that a change will come like Sam Cooke and Obama say. Her mama say, pain is just the prelude to your happiness. As long as you have one, the other's not too far from happening. Don't worry, he'll be back again. Then you have a marriage. Remember, life don't always go exactly how you planned it. Understand it and be patient like the sands of hourglasses. Woman's passion is the reason Earth keeps spinning on its axis. Peace, peace. It's your girl AtLas. I rock my 16 bars. So, big shout to Roc4Life.com and big shout to GangstarGirlfriend.com for having this dope contest, of which I was a participant. It's such a dope contest because a lot of times people, the question of the freaking century right now is, where are all the female MCs? Let's see. Well, we're here in Harlem, so I guess we can start there. The Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Africa, Afghanistan, Korea, Japan, all over Europe, underground, like literally, like we're everywhere. I don't know why people keep asking where are all the female MCs. It's just that just because it's not a whole bunch of us mainstream right now, and in all honesty, the legitimacy of mainstream is kind of on a downhill slope right now. So who cares who's mainstream right now? Honestly, I grew up like all of my uncles are DJs. My uncle, I'm from, my great grandmother still to this day lives on 1600 Cedric Ave. So Cedric and Cedar, like that's where I grew up. My uncle and Kool Herc, they like this. Like that's just, I have no choice. He makes sure I know the history. If I don't know a record, like he played like a portion of a breakbeat. I gotta shout out my uncle, DJ Blackjack. But he played like a portion of a breakbeat, like what's that from? You should use it. Like he makes sure I know all the history. If I didn't, he's like utterly embarrassed and don't want to talk to me no more. And then growing up, I got into just like listening to my cousins rhyme and stuff like that. And then '94 came around. That's when hip hop was like the pinnacle, like the peak. And I saw the Bomb video, Criss Cross featuring the Brat, and I was like, yeah, who is this chick? She's dope. I think maybe I said Fresh or the Bomb. Yeah, I think that was the slang at the time. And I was like, I wanna do that. Like if she can do it, I can do it. Cause I thought she was my age. I found out later she's old, but prior to that, I thought she was my age. And then I saw the Vocab video with the Fugees joint, and I was like, who is this chick? She's bananas. Probably not the slang. And I was like, dude, between this chick and this chick, I know I can do this. Like this is dope. And around that time, it was a lot of females doing it. You had '93 with the Roughneck video with MC Lyte. Boss was around, Rage was around. Like you had a lot of females doing it mainstream at the time, and so it seemed attainable. And then I used to sit in like my classroom, and I used to I had my notebook reading what's on the board, and I flip, write some bars, flip back 4 to the square root of, okay, and then back, write some more rhymes. And then I started writing like with music. So I'm like, when I'm in class, I can't really have my music. So how do I do that? So I took my headphones, and the ones you put in your ears, and I split them. And I ran them up my sleeve, like up my shirt, up my sleeves, and I taped the earpiece to my hands so that I could sit like this and listen to my beats while I wrote. It worked all through high school and middle school. It worked. And then when I got to college, it was like, I don't have to do that anymore. However, there's so many distractions in between classes, and that's really the only time I had to devote to my music. So what I would do was I would take the headphones, put them in, take the little lowly jack, and just stick it straight in my pocket with no CD player, no tape player, like no nothing. Put it in my pocket and walk around like I was listening to music, and just ignore everybody. Like I'm probably gonna get some email messages about this now, but but yeah. So I don't know. Hip hop is a culture, and you have to continue to feed it. So for it to not die, like any culture, in history there have been many cultures that flourished for a little while, but then people, they abandoned that culture and it's now no longer existent. So in order to keep that from happening, individuals who are true artists need to eat, sleep, and live it. I am a part of a collective called the Hip Hop Sisters. Hip Hop Sisters was started by MC Lyte about 3 years ago, and it was her vision was to, I think her overall vision is what we mentioned earlier about having the Grammy category, reinstated for female, the female hip hop category. But before you get there, you have to, get a group of females who are passionate about hip hop and have them contribute to each other, so that it's become more of a social network for females in every aspect. We have, entertainment lawyers to DJs to B-girls, and from here to Africa, it's global. So that's, in a nutshell, what the Hip Hop Sisters is about. I will not lose because there's still breath in my body. And every day is a new opportunity to redeem myself from yesterday. I live by a quote, and you'll see it at the end of all of my emails and texts, that says, "I am who I am, not yet who I'll be," which is my declaration, my proclamation to the fact that every day is another day to be a better person. So as long as I live where I don't fixate on trying to be perfect, however I strive to be, then I don't see how I can go wrong.
No need to visualize, open your eyes, behold a masterpiece. Cause every time I open my mouth, I feel the tapestry. It's difficult, but try to accept I ain't no rapper, be an artist, painting mental canvases and do it masterfully, fantastically arranging these words to please your mind's eye. Perfection, rare and unappreciated, like a bonsai. It's my time and I'm gon' shine with every brushstroke, evoking little changes until it affects enough folk, demanding